because you were chosen. It is in you to overcome. Because you were chosen. It is in you to overcome. So be strong, be courageous, and overcome. So be strong, be courageous, and overcome. YPG, you are strong. You are strong.
Yeah, born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You were strong YPG, join the best YPG. Wipe your sadness and your tears, cause I know that you were strong. All your pain and all your burdens, they will never last for long. Life's a test and in this test, fight to always be the best. YPG is in the house, so forget about the rest. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You are strong YPG, join the best YPG. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. So be strong YPG, join the best YPG.
Whoa, hold on, cause the YPG is coming. YPG is coming. World, hold on, cause we're coming to destroy the kingdom of the dark. World, hold on, cause the YPG is coming. YPG is coming, singing world, hold on, cause we're coming to destroy the kingdom of the dark. The time is now to make a change. The time is now to be different. Because you were chosen. It is in you to overcome. Because you were chosen. It is in you to overcome. So be strong, be courageous, and overcome. So be strong, be courageous, and overcome. YPG, you are strong. You are strong.
Yeah, born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You were strong YPG, join the best YPG. Wipe your sadness and your tears, cause I know that you were strong. All your pain and all your burdens, they will never last for long. Life's a test and in this test, fight to always be the best. YPG is in the house, so forget about the rest. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You are strong YPG, join the best YPG. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. So be strong YPG, join the best YPG.
Whoa, hold on, cause the YPG is coming. YPG is coming. World, hold on, cause we're coming to destroy the kingdom of the dark. World, hold on, cause the YPG is coming. YPG is coming, singing world, hold on, cause we're coming to destroy the kingdom of the dark.
Take the pain away and not your life. Just deal with the things of strength inside. Jesus always there by your side. Don't let Satan take away your life. Just deal with the things that strength inside. Jesus always there by your side. Don't let Satan take away your life.
Guess I'm thinking too hard. Guess I'm thinking too much. I could put a bullet in my head. Guess that wouldn't mean much. Facing 99 problems. I don't even know how I got them. Think suicide's are the problem. That's the number one problem. They just hang themselves on the rope. Throw themselves off the road. Homie, I'm clinging to God. I was just clinging to hope. If you feeling all alone, nobody else even know. Feeling depressed on the phone. Just wanna be on your own. Act too fake, too false. Always trying to be who you not. Brag about things you got. Homie, just turn to God. Voice in my head, they speak. Saying do that, do this. Devil try to tell me I'm weak. Feel so hurt I can't sleep. Up all night when I end my life. Nothing bright, ran out of fight. Up all night when I end my life. Nothing bright, ran out of fight.
Take the pain away and not your life. Just deal with the things that strength inside. Jesus always there by your side. Don't let Satan take away your life. Take the pain away and not your life. Just deal with the things that strength inside. Jesus always there by your side. Don't let Satan take away your life.
Saint trying to take my light away. I cannot die today. Hope never been that far away. Putting up fire today. Don't need to cry, who'll make a way. I turned to God and I found a way. Look at my pain, it'll fade away and make it go away. Tried on my own, it didn't work. Gotta take a leap of faith. Gave it to God, trust in the word. He making no mistakes. Straight to the mud, being in the dirt. He made me clean that day. He made me clean that day. He made me clean that day. Got my team, the YPG. They be supporting me. I have.
I was talking to some young people about the importance of the mother in our life, and I remembered the importance of my mother in my life. You know, I would like to ask all of you to watching us now to go there and comment how important your mother has been in your life, and not just the physical mother, if you can put it that way, but also the spiritual mother, because we have the church, our spiritual mother. So I'd like to invite all those watching us, go there now and comment how important has been your mother in your life. I'm not just talking about the importance of the, can I say biological mother?
Yes.
But also the spiritual mother that is our church. I was thinking about my testimony about how important my mother was in my life, because she raised me with all care, all education. You know, she did her best. She would call me aside and say, my son, sit here. Or listen, if you're getting drugs, is there a way without turning back? You're going to get addicted. Or my son, listen, if you go to streets, you go to parties and you sleep around, you're going to make girls pregnant, you're going to get HIV and so on. I heard what she said. But guess what? When I was 14, I went to the road. But before I went to the world 14 years, she showed me the way of the church, the way of the YPG. So from 14 to 18, I really messed up. But when I was 18, a day that I got in trouble, I remembered everything that my mother said, or how important she was in my life, that she showed me the way, she taught me the way, and when I was 18, I knew what to do and where to go. And because of that, I'm here today. Both mothers, the biological one and the spiritual one.
I'm also curious what you guys did for your mothers in this Mother's Day. So if you can also add that in the comments. What did you do for your mother on this Mother's Day? Did you call your mom already, Pastor?
Always, man.
Did you call yours, Pastor Michael?
I'm about to call as soon as I'm done here.
Okay.
Did you call yours?
No, not yet. Also, Pastor Mike and I have the same excuse. We have the same excuse of time zone. That's
Brazil,
all the time zone. So,
yeah, Brazil. But you know what? She's watching the Hangout every Sunday.
oh, faithful
Every
member.
Sunday. Sometimes she likes to go and comment there in Portuguese. You know, like last week, she commented something, and the week before. And I'm not sure if she's watching today, but as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to make a call.
Ah, that would be great. And you know, speaking about our spiritual mother, it's so important to actually realize how important our spiritual mother is as well. You know, when you go back to think about the first time you walked into the church, how you were. I'll give you my experience. I'll never forget this. You know, the first time one walks into the church, you know, I was walking with my bandana, my cornrows, walking down the street in Benoni. And this young lady, I don't forget her name up until today, Mahlori, she stopped me and she said, I can see that you're a rapper. There are a lot of girls inside there. And if you rap, they will all love you. And I said, what? I'm going in there. Since I went in, I never wept out up until today. Up until today. And that's how I came into the church. And I would like to even, if I may, ask the YPG how you walked in to your spiritual mother, the church. How you came. Some got newspapers, some came obviously through invitation by friends. I gave you my experience. How did you come?
As I mentioned, when I was 14, my mother showed
your
me
mother.
the
Okay.
way. I came to the church, to the YPG. I got baptized. I wasn't committed.
Okay.
You know, there are a lot of young people, they come to the spiritual mother and they learn a lot. They eventually get baptized in waters, but there is no commitment. And that
Okay.
was me back then.
Okay.
So then I left the church, and when I was 18, the day that I got in trouble, I remembered my spiritual mother and the biological mother, all that she taught me, the way she taught and things that she taught. And that's when I decided to come back when I was 18.
We've already got a couple of comments here. Raquel says, very important, together through thick and thin. We've got Rachel Majola, who says, my mom has been such an inspiration to me. She is my role model. And because of her, I know Christ today. I think that's the biggest gift your mother gave you, definitely. We've got Azola, who says, the importance in my life is that even though I grew up in the Shebeen, she was always watching on how I'm living my life. She's always wanted me to make the right decisions in life. And the spiritual mother accepted me when I had no one, lost hope. She picked me up and cleaned me and gave me hope. I sent my mother a message past 5 in the morning and she really appreciated it. Hey, you woke your mother up. Piwo Gushle says, as much as my biological mother's role was significant for my birth, my spiritual mother was even more significant in my new birth in God. Hashtag East London YPG. Hala East London. Hala Eastern Cape. Boyd Tumelo says, my spiritual mother has never turned her back on me, but instead she accepted me with open arms, no matter how many mistakes I have done. Then my physical mother is my grandmother. She is a mother, both a mother and a father figure. She has done a lot for me. Then we've got Lesedi, who says, I was lost looking for a taxi in CBD. And as I was walking, I was invited into the service, and I never looked back. That's an interesting way to find your spiritual mother.
You know, no matter how much you messed up in life or you have done wrong things, when you come back, your mother is always there, open arms to accept you and forgive you. And so does the spiritual mother. No matter how much you mess up, no matter how much you do wrong, the doors will always be open to accept you.
Mm-hmm.
This happened with me, not sure if it happened with you, but I remember when coming back to the church, they welcomed me. We might have people watching us and they left the YPG, they left the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make clear for them that I don't know when they'll come back. Well, we are calling them back now. But when they come back, the doors will always be open.
I would like to make a shout out to all our friends from Botswana. I know one church in Botswana. It's a very funny name. They call it Muchuchu.
Muchuchu.
Yeah, Muchuchu. And I see the comment of the person from Muchuchu. She says, I was from a doctor's appointment and we passed by the church. We heard people praying. That's how I walked in the doors of my spiritual mother.
Spiritual mother.
Yes, Muchuchu. Welcome to RSA.
YPG RSA.
Yeah.
We are one. We are one. In the entire world, we are one. In Botswana, in Namibia, in Brazil, in South Africa, we are one. And today, we are not just talking about the biological mother who took care of us, who taught us, but we are also talking about the importance of the spiritual mother. So share there your experience. Comment there now the importance in your life of the spiritual mother We talk about the church and the biological mother.
Yeah, and also share the page, share the link. Let's go. Share that link. Those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, even on the online radio, share the link. We've you were saying that we are one family all over. We've got here from Michelle Rodrigues. She wrote here
Rodrigues,
Brazil, FJU,
Brazil.
FJU, yeah.
FU,
FJU.
FJU.
Yeah, so shout out to Michelle, the family. Hopefully you understand what we're saying here.
Seja bem-vinda, África do Sul.
Yeah, something like that, what he said. Yeah. We've got people connected from Uppington. We've got, obviously, the Botswana flag. Shout out Botswana. The others we've got here. I was through... Okay, I believe she meant she came through the church. It was through my mother. And of course, the grace of God that I'm in the presence of God today. She always gave a good example as to how a woman of God should be. Great mom indeed. Hashtag PEYPG and the flames. That's Sipotolo. Sipotolo.
Yeah.
My apologies if I got it wrong. We've got Karabo Lamini who says, my mother, the church, made me realize that there is nothing for me outside in the world, but I have everything when I am with him. Capital him there, obviously talking about God. Joyce says, I was passing by the first UCKG in Lesotho, and I saw YPG dancing and walking in. And I walked in. I never looked back till today. Mkolisi says, I left the church when I was doing grade 6, but when I was in grade 8, I saw other lady posting a picture of YPG members, so I wanted to go back to see what was the YPG all about. Then I started to join arts and culture. Until today, I'm connected to my mother. Shout out to Mkolisi.
It's good, this comment, for everybody to know that the YPG is not just about this connection here, but we have the projects. We have art and culture, we have sports, we have media, who's these days are working hard since we are using media. We have a lot of projects helping students. So obviously, when the lockdown is over, we are going to put all those projects back
in action.
action.
Definitely. The comments are flocking here, but I would also like you guys to make sure to share the link. We are going to shortly share with you the topic, the theme for the day. But I'd like you guys to be able to take this link, share it, whether you're watching from YouTube or you're watching from Facebook. Take the link, share it to your friends. Somebody was last week talking about the challenge. Pastor Mac, Pastor Maicon, Pastor Tika, who's watching.
No, but we had, at the end of the program, we had the video of the youth members dancing. Because they wanted to see people dancing. Let me explain here. Let me make it clear. Because everybody were excited at home. They wanted to see someone dancing. And then I worked on something to make sure that they would watch people dancing. So at the end of the program last week, I don't know if you remember, we had people dancing. The youth members of South Africa, they were there. So I hope you enjoyed. And today, well, we can have something new, not dancing again. Oh, come on, maybe we can have a battle here of our rappers are ready to rap.
That's not a problem. But Pastor Mac, we still haven't reached 1,000. We haven't reached a K on Facebook.
We have not reached
Of
1,000. So look,
see?
if you
Of
really
course.
want to see it happen,
Yeah, see, we wish to. I mean, we are red, but then
we know you can. 1K is simple.
Chilled vibes.
If you get 1K, for us it's simple as well. If you get 1K, we make it happen.
you know the hangout of today is about friends. Friendship is the thing. And there was this group of friends in the Bible that they had an agreement. We are these days praying for the agreement. We are, and with the hashtag YPG Together More Than Ever, and we are doing the prayer of agreement Wednesdays and Sundays. We are in agreement. And there was this group of men that they agreed to lead one friend who couldn't walk to Jesus. This person who is watching us can do it right now. They can get this link and lead a friend to Jesus. Share the link. This friend who is an addicted, who is depressed, who is suffering at home, who can't walk. Let me put in a spiritual aspect. Who can't walk. You can be one of those friends in the Bible who decided to take, and when they arrived there, what happened? Their house was full, but yet they made a way through the roof to bring the friend to Jesus, because they knew that there would be a solution. The problem would be solved. So there are a lot of young people facing a lot of problems. And I'm sure that somehow God is going to use this program to bring a solution, a way out for the one who is watching us. So get the link now and share it. Be part of that. We're going to talk more about that group of men, that group of friends. They had an agreement. They agreed to lead one friend to Jesus so that you'd have first of all, forgiveness. This is what Jesus did. And second, his healing.
Tell me something. I want to hear, talking about friends and talking about mother. What has been the naughtiest thing you did with your friends?
Oh,
We'll start
my
with Pastor
goodness.
Max. You know those you guys know. I have
I was
to.
about to touch that subject.
The naughtiest thing you did that obviously involved your mother and involved your friends. And what happened? Tell us the mbama.
The impam.
Well, in this case, you know, I never wanted my mom to know my naughty side, but I'll share with you what happened. We had a house party the last day of school at my home. And I knew that day that my mom was not going to come home until a certain time. But then the house party was banging. We were dancing.
You really forgot about time.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for it. Whilst we all there singing, dancing, you know, doing what we do, guess who shows up at the door?
Your mom.
My mom.
The other day you told us about your dad, so this is another one. Now it's your mom.
Well, you know, both sides, eh?
Okay.
They won't be talking about the uncle and... Okay, carry on. There'll be another story.
The rest of the
Then
relatives.
my mom opened the gate. Now, where we lived, we had a remote control gate. So the gate you could hear the gate opening.
Okay.
We were at the garage, house party, music stopped. The first thing that my mom did was to go to the kitchen. And I ran into the kitchen and I stood there and I just tried to distract her. No, nothing is happening. How was your day? My mom realized that something is wrong. She walked out and my mom saw all the friends at the garage. She
So
said
they were all
nothing.
hiding in the garage.
Yeah, she said nothing until everybody went away. You know, when we speak about beating, I think I've got beaten by everything. Not Mbama, kettle plug.
You broke the record.
Kettle plug. Man, anything that you can get up. My mom was good at that.
Whatever was in front of her.
In front of her, mop, shape on my head. Thank God I ain't crazy, but my mom hit me on my head. But from that day, man, she was very upset because she never knew us as those type of people who throw house parties. But my mom is chilled. She's a nice person. You know my mom.
Yeah.
She's chilled. She's a nice person then.
Now, how did you get out of that one, though?
How do you get out of that when you're caught? How do you get out of that when you're caught?
Well, I mean, like in the sense, how did it end out? Like,
Well, how it end up? Well, my mom was so nice. She didn't tell my dad.
Because
My dad was a psychopath.
Mother is very protective.
Yeah, she was very protective. She didn't tell my dad. And we promised to never make a house party again, and she forgave us. That was a lie, actually. We made many more after that. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching.
Now you're confessing.
Sorry.
Did she know?
No, she never knew.
Oh,
Well, that
Now
was-
she knows?
Now
Or
she
she'll
knows.
get
She
to
knows.
know?
I'm an adult now, married. Sorry, Mom, as I'm saying, but we threw many more house parties, and it was cool. But thank you so much for carrying it.
Pastor Michael, tell us.
You know, I was listening to you now about the mop and the broom, and I just remembered my mother used to catch the first thing that she would see in front of her, like could be a glass. I remember days of looking back and seeing a glass flying on my direction, and a broom, and I would escape through the window, through the walls, or whatever I would see in front of me. I would jump like a cat. I don't actually remember the most craziest thing that I did, though I used to do a lot of things. In the following day, the neighbors would come and complain to her, Michael has done this, Michael has done that. But I remember the day that we decided to get in the car, and we didn't want to steal the car, but we want to disappear with the car.
What's the difference?
So we just got in the car, we put the handbrake down, and we just pushed the car away to the other block, 3 ways block from the house of the owner of that car, just for fun. On that very same night, we had a lot of toilet paper rolls with us, where we would go to everybody's gate and put the toilet papers in just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I remember that almost every weekend we would do something crazy for fun, but there were times that it would reach my mother and she would go crazy to me. And then would come to what you just said now, that you know, she would come nice and soft, look at me. How are you, my son? Did you do this? And all of a sudden she would grab the broom and grab whatever she would see. I knew that. But the good point is, since we are talking about mothers today, one thing I have to recognize, to confess, that she did all she could to bring to me discipline, care, love, education, all that she could. She showed me the way of the spiritual mother, the church. And when I was 14, I got lost because of the theme of today that we're going to talk about, which is friendship. Those group of men in the Bible, they led that friend to Jesus. But my friends did not lead me to Jesus. My biological mother led me to the spiritual mother. But my friends, they led me to drugs. They led me to corruption. They led me to do a lot of things. From 14 to 18, I really did crazy things.
It's interesting because no one ever says that they experimented drugs or alcohol just randomly, like they found a bottle, and everybody, it's based on like a friend introduced it to them.
Exactly true.
Because I remember the first experience I had with alcohol, it was a girl, and I spat it out because in my mind, I thought I didn't know much about alcohol, so I thought that even if you drank just a bit, I'd be drunk already and stuff. And we were bunking school. We literally went in the front gate and came out the back gate, and
Again,
we went to...
you do that because of a group of friends you were involved.
Exactly.
Not alone, but
friends.
friends.
We don't, you know, we're not in the mood for school today. And then one friend was like, my parents all at work, let's go to my house. So literally just, you know, and I remember being given this alcohol, and I put it in my mouth, and I thought, and I spat it out. But I mean, that stayed there because I was in the influence of those friends. So the first time, the second time, maybe the third time, it didn't work out, but eventually. So it's very interesting that the majority of young people are influenced to something which is not profitable because of their friends. And very interesting is, especially nowadays, when you choose to make a U-turn and to do things right, you don't have many people. How many of your friends would call you and say, let's go and study together, group study? What? Study
And
group?
what?
What? Study group? No ways. You want to study you on your own, and don't invite us. But you want to go Joel, you want to go party, you're going to sleep around, you're going to be with girls, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to smoke, you're going to get high. Then you call us. Then everybody's. And that's easy. It's like here in the YPG, we are inviting young people to be great in life, to be successful, to make positive choices and decisions in their lives. How hard do we have to work to bring one young person? How hard? How hard is it? We know very well, and those of you who work with us, you know very well how hard it is. But now, if we have a live right now, we're trying to push to a K. If we have a live here that's going to be promoting sensual picture of ladies, alcohol, drugs, quickly we'll push to 1 million easily.
Yeah.
Because when we promote what's good, what's profitable, young people aren't interested. And it's very interesting that it's like when I was outside doing that kind of stuff, which you used to do as well, I had many friends. The day I took the decision, enough, I don't want this life anymore, they just left me, literally. And I never really told them, I wasn't a fanatic and telling them, guys, come to Jesus. No, I just said, listen, guys, I'm no longer about that life. But if you want to join me, you know, like, I respect you. I tried keeping them close so that I could, you know, perhaps bring them to Jesus as well. But it never worked out. It's like, I looked like dirty to them, although it was the other way around. But I looked filthy to them. It's like I was smelling to them. I had a stench.
you know, that's the reason why young people today, they're afraid to go to the opposite direction. They get easily influenced. If you do wrong, as we usually say, the world will applaud you. They'll be cheering for you. Yeah, that's it. You are the coolest. Now, join us. Hey, come on, join us. While you're doing what is wrong.
Yeah.
What pleases them, what the direction that the road is. From the moment you go to the opposite way, the opposite direction, that's when you find yourself alone. I mean, that's what the devil wants you to think.
Yeah.
That you're going to be alone.
We even have a comment here from Tamia. It says, the craziest thing I did with my cousin, my first friends, was we lived in somewhat busy street with burnt tires, put them on the road,
My
and when we
goodness.
see cars coming from a distance and we run to hide. what kind of crazy friend is that? Eh? Burning tires.
But I'm sure that the idea came
from a friend.
from a friend.
Yeah.
Or even if she had the idea, she wouldn't do that alone unless she would be with
Someone. You know, I
a group of friends.
would always say that. Have you ever noticed that if you are in a party, you can never have a party on your own?
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to what you just said, PJ, when you said that how difficult it is to invite a youth or anyone to church. And no one can dance alone. You'll always need someone. It's amazing that everything that seems opposite is actually attractive to those.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen normal random people? For example, someone's for the first time, he's looking at this show and thinking, well, there's no, house music. Well, it's not house music now. It's what? I'm a piano, ne?
It's a young,
No.
young hip hop there.
Young
trap.
Young trap, okay. They think, no, not this again. But if we just play the beat here now, I think we'd even reach 600.
Do we have that?
Oh, I really?
Do we have something?
Copyright.
Right.
Okay.
And
No,
you
the
need-
one was the
Well,
the
I
YPG,
think I've
obviously.
got
I
one.
was
I've
talking
got
about
one
the ones
here.
of the
You
YPG.
got one?
I've got one here.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Let's
that
see what
song. Yeah.
Just a beat.
Forward.
Keep talking. He'll sort it out.
So we want to see if we can reach 500. Let's play something. Can we?
I'm sure we can.
We can.
Well,
I'm sure we can.
While he's looking for,
Yes.
still in the subject of friendship.
Yeah.
If you see a person wearing white with a green vest, I believe that the picture that you're going to have, the image you're going to have about that person is he's a doctor. I mean, the doctor uniform usually has that white coat, and I don't know how you call that green vest. Is there
Scraps.
a specific name?
Scraps.
Yeah, there we go. So you're going to say, he's a doctor. If you see a guy, perhaps well dressed with glasses, maybe carrying books, what's the image you're going to have about him?
A nerd.
What else?
Dork.
Well, a teacher, lecturer.
Yeah, you
I'm
know.
trying to keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, so my point here is the influence of friendship can form in you a character. The character word I'm talking about is actually the image.
Yeah.
I remember of changing from different groups of friends. I would have different ways of dressing, different images. You'd look at me and you'd say, this guy's well, some days I would walk with a group of friends, they were cowboys. They would have the...
Cowboys.
Yes, horse. You know, I came from a small city
Wild,
surrounded
Wild
by
West.
farms. Yeah, I came from a small
So
city.
you used to wear
Very
those
small
shoes, those
seats.
boots with
No,
the
wait,
stars
hold
there
on.
behind.
Emma Hanyan. Hold on.
No, touch base on that.
Yeah,
no,
no,
hold on.
wait. We need
We're
to
going to
explore
get there.
this.
We're going to get there. But let me finish here.
So wait, the Cowboys were cool.
Let me finish here. And since I came from that small area surrounded by farms, yes, there was that group of friends. And I once was with them. And I would look like one of them.
Yes.
And then I changed that group. I went to another group. And the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you dress, it gives how can I say, the image. Now, whoever look at you will say, this guy is, let's say, a rapper. This guy is, I won't say cowboy again. This guy. Oh my goodness! I could have used any other example. Anyway,
Parody.
no, I wasn't that level. I wasn't.
You didn't have the hat.
No.
So you like the dress sense?
Forget about the big belts and the boot and no.
What
I
you
wasn't-
call that sport where they do like they get on the bull and the whole
What the
the
rodeo?
rodeo, yeah. So you used to go to the rodeo
Anyway.
shows.
As I was saying,
No.
Look,
No.
we're going to come back with that.
No, we're not coming back. We want that now.
We need it.
No, I wasn't.
Tell us about the rodeo show because I doubt any of us here have been to those rodeo.
Okay, I would go to some parties
Yeah.
in the farm.
Yes.
And in the farm, yes, there was those parties with country music
That's where we
and
want
all
you.
those things, yes. But my point here is the subject of friendship.
Okay.
Come on, guys. The subject of friendship. It forms you a what I'm calling here character and image.
Yeah.
And, I remember how hard my mother worked on me to raise me with that care and that education for me to look someone, how can I say, responsible and so on. But get involved with friends, I would have different images, different character, if I can call it images. That specific year, I would look like one of those gangsters. I would be aggressive because I would walk with those who are aggressive.
So
I
one
know
day you
want
walk
me
like
to
a
come
cowboy,
back.
the next day you walk like a gangster.
You want me to? You see how powerful is the message here that we're talking about in terms of friendship. Yes, you're right. One day I was this gangster. I was amongst gangsters. I would walk like them. I would speak like them. I was one of them, dressing like them. The other day, or let's say not overnight, following year, changing friendship, changing group of friends, I would walk and speak. You see
Speak. So everywhere you'd go, you'd become that.
I mean, the way you speak, the slang,
Yeah.
the way they speak, the way they dress, they'll do things. And I wonder now, these people watching us, which type of friendship do they have?
Have a very interesting comment here. It says, I grew up in the church but found bad friends in the YPG. How do I get rid of those friends as we will always meet in the church? Very interesting.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I'm
to
going to
highlight.
gladly answer it because you need to understand that amongst the good, there's always going to be bad. And amongst the bad, there's always going to be good. When we speak in a general sense. For example, young people generally don't like to study, but that's not everybody that's in the school that doesn't like to study. We do the work, all of us do the school visits, and we do have those kids who disrupt in the class, but we do have those who are dedicating themselves, who want to become someone in future. And the other way around also happens, that there are people in the YPG for good, and there are people in the YPG for bad. Pastor Mac was even mentioning that he came to the YPG because someone said that there are girls inside and the girls would like it.
Yeah.
But obviously with time you gradually changed. Yeah. But there are those who never changed. They came with the idea as Pastor Mac, and you're not the only one. There are quite a few pastors, I've even heard bishops saying that they came because they heard that there were nice ladies in the YPG. But there are some who never decided to change. They decided to be like that. So you need to be the one to actually draw the line and ask yourself, what are those friends adding to you? What are those friends adding to your life? So you're continuing that friendship there in the YPG, but they're misleading you. So why are you insisting? If you already know that they are bad for you, why are you insisting? My mother taught me a basic thing, and I think yours taught you and yours taught you as well. Manners. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or goodbye. Yeah. So manners to such people, you greet them, and that's it. You're not forced to be with them and to evangelize with them. You're not forced to do anything. In the YPG, no one's forced to do anything. So no one's forcing you to have those friends. As a matter of fact, no one's even forcing you to have friends. And if you have that need to actually have friends, to look for friends, it's because you need to see yourself spiritually. It goes back to what we spoke last week about the void. Because when you are well with yourself, you don't worry about being with a lot of friends or not having a lot of friends. We were actually discussing it here. The wives were speaking about how even at school, many people would have this thing of being alone. They had this. I personally had it in high school. I couldn't walk alone when we'd switch classes or break time. That was like a trauma. And ironically, to everybody, the first reflex we would have is to pull our phones and act like we're busy. There's nothing to do on your phone and you'd be busy there because you're so worried about what others think. So you need to really work on that. Otherwise, you're losing the essence of being in the YPG if you're allowing bad people in the YPG. Why are you allowing the bad ones to influence you and not the good ones? Why don't you allow us? We'll be your friend and we'll influence you. Our wives, by the way, are here. They're going to greet you shortly. Let them influence you. They'll be your friends. If you're looking for friends, we'll befriend you.
Even though inside of the church, we need to be selective.
Yeah.
We need to select the best friends who we should walk with, the ones that are spiritual, the ones that speaks the same language.
Yeah.
And talking about teaching, still in the subject of teaching, our biological mother teach us a lot, have taught us. The spiritual mother has taught and has been teaching us. Also friends, as the theme of today's friendship, teaches young people. They teach about pornography, about sex, how to get into porno websites, They teach in the school, young people are learning with wrong friendship. In the community, they're learning with wrong friendship. So you need to be selective. Inside of the church, there was this guy who was giving his testimony, and he said he got involved in Satanism because of friendship. And he was told to go to the YPG just to get disciples, as they call it, disciples, to engage more people in Satanism. But all this started with friendship.
Friendship.
Yeah.
But then I think every young person has a subconscious. Everybody has a conscience. And you are the one who's going to be the judge whether these friends are adding to your life or they subtracting. They're friends who are minuses. They are a minus. They're a subtraction, a clear subtraction. They give nothing, but they take everything from you.
Yeah.
When things are good, they're next to you. When things are tough, you look around and it's lonely.
True.
But you still insist on those friends.
Just like Colero said here, how many of us deceived ourselves and said, I will never be like my friends. Months go by and you are deep into their lifestyle. I remember in my group of friends, 5 of us got pregnant in a period of 2 years.
Sure.
Don't be fooled, guys.
It's something very dangerous when you're that kind of person who says you need friends. You know you have that need. Of course, nobody likes to be alone. You don't like, I don't like. But it's not that I can't be alone. It's I can live with and I can live without friends. And there will be moments where you have to be alone. Even the Lord Jesus had to be alone for crying out loud. Even he had to be alone. So you really need to work on yourself. You really need to see what you need to fix internally in order for you to sort that out. Because if there's that need, I have this need of being a friend, of having a friend, and you get depressed when you don't have friends, you know.
You know, PJ, you're saying something that I once got this advice, that if you really want to see if you really need friends, you first need to ask yourself, can I be alone? Because there are certain people, for example, the question I'm thinking about in 2 ways. She's asking, how can you make
good friends? How
good
do I go about
friends?
finding good friends?
Firstly, you need to ask yourself, can you be alone? Because if your answer is no, that means, first of all, you don't have self-confidence in you, because you need somebody to make you feel good about yourself. No. First, learn to be alone. Because the reality is you don't go to bed with your friends. When you're alone at night, you don't sleep with your friends. And when you are doing anything important at times, you are alone. So you have to learn first to be alone before getting to a point
You need
of...
to learn to be your own friend first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you don't need anyone to influence you bad or good. Because there are people say, but I want good friends, but they learn to copy the other person. So they become copycats. They learn the good behaviors of those, but then when they're alone, they don't know how to portray that because it's not a part of them. So first you need to learn to be alone.
And another very interesting thing is you need to ask, do you take decisions without the opinions of others?
Yeah.
The opinions, you know, the validation of others. You know, Pastor Mac, I want to study engineering. What do you think? Pastor Mac says
That's
yes.
the
Then Pastor
problem for
Mike
me.
can come says no. You must study.
That's the problem for many. They
yeah.
really need the opinion of others.
Yes.
But the point is, what do you think about yourself? Like you just said now, you need to be first a friend to yourself. Maybe this person look for someone who is upright. He himself is not upright. He's looking for someone who walks on the line. He himself doesn't walk on the line.
And there are those who make themselves their own worst enemy.
Enemy.
They don't need an enemy because they make themselves their worst enemy. They tell themselves negative stuff. I'm a loser. I'm this. I'm that. But if so they listen. They need the opinion of others. It's kind of like this. Pastor Michael, what do you think about my bandana? And he says, no, it's nice. No, I think it doesn't look nice on me. No, it does look nice. So they need that validation. Generally, people say that generally this is something that women have, but guys also have this.
Yes.
There are guys who also have that same need of a validation. What do their boys say? Go try to talk to someone on his own and go try to talk to someone when he's with his crew.
Yeah.
When he's on his own, he's chilled. Yo, how's it? You know, he'll talk to you, sit down. Now go try to talk to that guy when he's with his boys. And then his boys start teasing you or laughing at you or talking in a funny way. He's going to join in.
Yeah.
The friendship forms.
Who he's become.
Yes. That's what I was saying from the beginning here. And this is what I want them to understand.
And later on, the same person says when they're alone with you, they say, no, I didn't mean it. But it shows who you are.
Yeah.
You need somebody else to be validated. And that's the biggest problem of friendship here today.
You know, there is a verse that says, if you walk with the wise, eventually you'll be wise.
Yeah.
But if you walk with the foolish, you will be foolish.
Just before we carry on discussing this, you know that I always have a surprise here on the Hangout, right? And I have a short one. Pastor Mac doesn't know it. Pastor Maicon doesn't know it as usual.
We'll include the wives as well to join us in this.
Yes, they're more than welcome. My wife doesn't know. They're going to come greet you guys shortly. We have a 30-second clip that's going to show you a bunch of pictures. And I want to know how many of these pictures you can remember. Hold on. I know that some of you are going to try to be clever and you're going to try to screenshot, but we want to see who's going to be the quickest to remember the most.
Just gave you the tips.
No. They can do it. However, here's the trick. Here's the catch. There's certain things that might be a little bit more complicated for you to say. You think it's just going to be cat, door, and mouse. No. There's a little catch to it. So we're going to give 30 seconds for you to see what we're going to play. I don't know if it's ready, if we can go ahead with it. And we're going to be back right after. It's 30 seconds.
And while we're waiting for that, I'd like to just give you just something that somebody sent to me here. It says, the only person qualified to determine your worth is you.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
The only person qualified to determine your worth
Is you.
and perhaps you disqualify yourself.
Yeah.
He's highly negative.
Mm-hmm. Is it ready? We need this. Okay, there it is. They started. It's got a little audio there to it. Just. How dangerous are social media friends? How dangerous are social media friends?
I don't understand. We have young people, they have 5,000 friends on Facebook. How many of those 5,000 you really know? When the guy dies, there is a funeral service. How many of those are there? And they are crazy looking for followers. In a few minutes, we're going to talk about this as well. People who are there, thirst, well, what Bishop was talking about last week, the void.
Mm-hmm.
And they are there looking for the followers.
Mm-hmm.
People will be following them and will be pleasing them, will be saying what they like, what they want to hear. Because from the moment you say something that I don't want to hear, I won't be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
So there are people, they are being selective, but in the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of selecting the true friends will tell them the truth for their good, they're actually selecting friends will tell them what pleases them, what goes along with their mentality.
Yeah. Also goes back to what are those friends adding to your life? I'll stick to that note. What are these? The people that I want to be surrounded with, they need to add something to me.
Yeah.
They need to be, my closest friends are those who will actually come and tell me what's real. My wife is my best friend because she's the one person who's going to tell me even what I don't want to hear sometimes. But she'll tell me what
I have to agree with that.
You know, I need that to hear.
Indeed,
You know, and while you're speaking about that, you know, I think if some of the people can relate. Sometimes your friends even teach you the wrong thing. I remember my English teacher would always say, don't write what you speak. For some, doesn't make sense. Let me give you an example. Awe me bro, wat gaan aan, hè? Yeah, Johnny?
Away,
Wat sê
my
jy?
second.
And
Wat
then
sê jy?
jy sien. And then
Just try and
and
record
right
it.
now, write that. And you stop and think, what?
Yeah.
There are people who like writing slang on their cell phones because they're learning from their friends. And they get to the English class, they can't write a proper sentence because they only know slang.
Let me do a young throwback. Throwback Sunday. Pastor Mac, mix it.
I chat with that with my wife today. We use that only to chat when we were dating.
Do you remember the mixed lingo? G2G? L8R later?
Yeah?
And what else?
M2U, yeah.
WD, what you doing?
Oh.
And then WTV, watching
Yeah,
TV.
that is
WUW, who you with?
those tough language.
I have here in Paul, guys. She was the first one actually to, well, I think she is. She says the abacus, shelf, arrow, bulb, brick, computer, torch, shell, wheel, cooler box, gas, and headsets. I don't know if she got all of them right.
Who's that?
Paul.
How many were they?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 only.
12. I've got Kutlano, counting frame. That's an abacus, but okay, that's acceptable. Bookshelf, brick, cooler box. Everybody got the cooler box, Pastor
I
Mike, as
told
you said. Jack, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's also got 12 here. Anybody got anywhere like the 20s? I want to test your memory. Fauzi says bolt and nut, headphone, knife, car jack, light bulb, generator, bow, and arrow. That's
I want you
8,
to
9,
add something
10,
here.
11, 12, 13, 14.
14?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Okay.
so far.
Well, we have
He's
here. No. I think I think somebody else got better than that.
Aye, screenshot.
more than-
Screenshot.
Yeah.
Aye,
More than
screenshot.
14?
She says that Sikana says mixer, bricks, counting thingy. Well, it's an abacus. Knife, bicycle wheel,
Is the bricks.
bookshelf, library,
One brick.
computer, generator, earphones, gen squash, popo, vegetable. What?
Gen squash.
Cola box, light bulb,
Gen
and then
squash.
English ran away. I don't blame you.
Just to add on it's a game about memorizing the items. And I'm thinking here with myself. A lot of young people, if you ask them after 10 o'clock service, or one of the services, what it was said, they don't actually remember
What service?
everything. Exactly.
Which service?
I remember days after Hangout, I would call one, and then what did you get today? Today.
Which day?
Yeah, in the Hangout.
Which hangout?
Nothing.
And then they remember one word. But my point here is I'm thinking here with myself. Young people, they easily memorize what that friend said. Sometimes even insulting them or saying something highly negative. A lot of bad things, they memorize what those friends said. What those friends have showed them on their phone. They make sure they'll memorize for later, for them to check, to do researches and so on. But here we are talking about good things. We have a lot of broadcasts throughout of the day, from Monday to Monday. Sometimes we motivate them to read books of the church, Bible verse related to youth in general. And they don't actually make every effort to memorize those things.
Yeah.
But what bad friends teach them, as we were talking about teaching, they end up memorizing and keeping it.
They also remember the negative words which perhaps were said not only from friends, sometimes family members. You know, it does happen with their broken families. And if you are a victim of that, I'm sure that your mother, your father, whoever said that to you, they never really meant it. You know, it happens. But perhaps those words have been stuck. That word which someone said to you, you'll never make it in life, you're a loser, you were a problem in my life, I wish you were never born. And perhaps that's been a memory, not only in your mind, but in your entire life. Your life goes in that direction because you always remind yourself, you always replay in your mind what you were told. So this game was a simple game to exercise. You know, I don't think I could remember half of the stuff that we have there. But what is it that you keep memorizing? What are the words which you maintain, which have become a part of your life? You know, I'm going to tell you something. My dad used to say to me every day when I'd go to school, my dad would say like this: don't accept defeat. These were the words my dad would say to me every morning when I would leave home. And until today, those words are stuck in my mind because I took that as a lesson for my life. I hate defeat. I hate failing. It's something that's inside of me. I hate failing. And I know that failure is part of life and I'm going to fail to learn. There will be moments, but
It's part of our steps.
exactly. But it's something, defeat for me, failure. It's something that I don't have comfort. I don't have chill with that kind of stuff because it's something which I kept. I could have also kept negative, however, stuff which were told by others. All of us have been, I think, have you been bullied, Pastor Mac? Were you ever bullied?
Never.
Never.
Aye.
You were the bully, Pastor
was
Mac.
the
I can
bully,
see it.
He was actually the one
Oi. Hey.
bullying them.
Oi.
Were you one
You
of
had
those?
brothers. You had brothers.
Yeah,
huh?
I had a lot of brothers there. We were 18, bruh.
And they would walk together.
Yeah, we were unstoppable.
Nobody would dare.
Nada.
Nada.
Pastor Michael, were you ever bullied?
Loot.
Next.
I think when I was grade
Besides of being in the
6.
hangout and when you remember, we remind you about the cowboy. Besides this
Yeah,
bullying
you
here,
see, that's
the other
bullying.
bullying.
So don't follow the example of bullying. I think few times on grade 7, grade 8.
Really?
Yeah, those days that you didn't know much how to defend yourself, you easily would fall in their trap because they actually want you to feel hurt.
Do you remember what they bullied you for?
I remember once it was, I think, about the hair style I had in those days.
What hairstyle did you have?
But there we go.
Cowboy hairstyle.
This is bullying. No. But then the point here is, doesn't really matter the hairstyle.
Pastor, maybe it was the cornrows.
Nah.
Cornrows there. The Snoop Dogg vibes there.
Man, that was the thing, eh?
Yeah, a few times that, because the one bullying actually wants you to give attention to that and feels hurt.
But you remember this. There's a very common saying that he who is bullied will always remember. How interesting is that? The bully might not remember, but the guy being bullied will
Always.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember being bullied. I remember I've got a scar on my forehead. I'm not ashamed of saying it today. And they, you know, it's funny. It looks funny. They'd call me Spider-Man. Because they said it's like web. Spider-Man came and did to you on your forehead. You see, Pastor Max bullying me now.
Looks like, I'm sorry, it does.
You see?
Only now that I realize
You see?
the web.
So they were so accurate. But you see,
No, it's not bullying. It's not bullying.
not at all. Say
just the
no
web.
to bullying.
Yeah.
So you see,
Web.
until today, I remember that. And this was like, what, I think grade 5, grade 6. We still remember. We have a
The
delayed
guy behind the
reaction
camera is
here.
laughing. That's too much.
Delayed reaction. Like 5 minutes later, Pastor here laughs.
No, it's the internet.
The internet
that's
speed is
slow,
slow,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's using 3G. So you see, until today, I remember that.
Really?
You will remember. How easy is it for you to remember something negative instead of something positive?
You know, what you're saying is so true. I remember, you know, in Actonville. Now, in Actonville, there were white flats and brown flats. And I remember that I was dating this other colored chick from that side.
Say,
Jay? And I remember that her brother came by. And that's why I'm saying I never accepted bullying. He made me do push-ups. Just because I was working with his sister. And I said to him, Zay, ek sal vir jou kry my outie. Moenie worry nie. In other words, I'll catch you. Don't worry. I'll do the push-ups now. But you'll do worse.
this is her brother.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
because he was older.
Okay.
But I just did out of respect.
Mm.
But when I caught him alone later, he did more than push-ups. Because I was with my brothers now.
There were 8 brothers.
Yeah, we were many. So you see, friendship, guys, it's something that you need to be very careful of. It goes back to what we just said here now. You don't need to fit in. You know, it's so sad to see people how they fit in. You know, I always use this analogy. You need to be like water. See, water fits in anything.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on nothing. But you find people want to fit in, but they depend on others.
Yeah.
Water fits in anything, doesn't depend on anyone.
Have you seen
Gains
those
any shape.
Yes, it gains any shape.
those chameleon young people?
Yeah.
Where the chameleon, depending on the environment, the background, it switches to that color. And there are young people
Yellow,
who are
yellow.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
It's ready,
yellow.
It's ready.
Red, red, everybody goes red. Blue, blue, everybody goes blue.
Even though if it goes against my will,
Yeah.
my principles, it doesn't matter. I'll change the color.
Yeah.
just to fit in.
Let me be honest about something. I used to drink. I used to like drinking a lot, but I never liked the taste of alcohol. I used to drink to get drunk because I liked the sensation of getting drunk. I never liked the taste, but because everybody was drinking, I had to drink. Well, that's at least the perception I had was I have to drink. I can't be out. You couldn't be in a party and say no, I'm not going to drink. I had to drink. There were times where I'd say, no, I'm detoxing because I drank too much. And that friend would say, just one cup, come on, man, it's just a glass. And I would accept it. Because the environment would drag that in.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be accepted by them.
Exactly. And it goes back to the question that was asked here of like good and bad friends in the YPG. Why is it easy for you to get influenced by the bad friends and not the good friends? That's because you're not deciding for your future, not thinking ahead. You're thinking about the fun of these friends.
True.
You're thinking about the fun part of being with these friends, but you're not thinking about the consequences, your future. So you're here with us. You only enjoy when we share with you what you like. But when we have to tell you the truth, which we do, there are days where I'm going to ask the youth here of Park Station and the others, Cape Town, Durban, who we've worked with, they'll tell you. If it's time for me to tell you ndabas, I'll tell you. Yeah. And the same with Pastor Mac and the same with Pastor Mike, and we're going to tell you. Not because we hate you, not because we persecute you. The same as with our wives. They're going to tell you ndabas. You do it right, we're going to tell you. Thumbs up, keep going. That's what we like. That's how it should be. But you mess up, we're going to tell you. Do you know why? Because we are your true friends. Because we want what's best for you.
Exactly.
My father used to say to me, I am your best friend. No one's going to tell you what I'm willing to tell you because nobody wants what's best for you as I want for you.
That's true. The question remains, the friends that you have are leading you to positive choices, are leading you to do what is right, are leading you to do things that will please you, but with a clear conscience.
Pastor Michael, there's a question here from Prosper. Prosper is saying, is not having a friend or being alone most of the time is part of depression, or simply you don't want anyone? Let me just clarify that. Is not having a friend or being alone most of the time part of depression, or simply you don't want anyone?
I think it depends on how you feel.
Yes.
Sometimes a person is self-confident. He chose to be alone, to elect the right friends and protect his faith for those Christian, or protect his life somehow. On the other hand, we have those who chose to be alone because of depression.
Yes.
Because they are deeply hurt, they are feeling sad, depressed, and so on. There is a huge difference.
Yes.
Muzwaki says here, if you try to fit in, you will break yourself. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried, you want to force something and it ends up breaking?
Yeah.
That's true. And perhaps you are broken inside because you're trying to fit into the crew. You're trying to fit into that clique. You're trying to fit into the cowboy gang. You're trying to fit into the...
It wasn't the cowboy gang.
and going back
to two different groups.
And going back to what you just said, it says you attract what you already are. You attract what you are ready. Wait.
Exactly.
Yes.
Good. Well said.
Well said.
You know, it just came to my mind now. I'm aware we have young people who may not be YPG members and part of the church. By the way, welcome to the YPG. You're more welcome to connect with us. You are for the first time, or you have been connecting with us, but you haven't been in the church. You were never in the church before the lockdown. You know, a young person who is really born of God is able to identify someone who is born of God. Something that I found out right after having my encounter with God in the YPG. And again, in my love life, because before meeting my wife is here. Not sure if you're able. Few minutes, they're going to come. Okay. They're here.
They're not nervous. They're so chilled. They're not shaking.
So I remember before meeting her, there were, I think, even 3 other ladies in the YPG. And they were apparently committed. They were there. One was even a daughter of an assistant. But I was able to see clearly that they were not for me. They were not born of God. Until I met my wife and I could identify. I'm just mentioning that because a lot of young people are in the YPG and they keep asking, how can I find the right person to walk with? And not saying I'm going to despise others. Don't take me wrong. We are family. we'll always be together, YPG together more than ever. You know, we have in the YPG we have the tribes, so-called the tribes, and we compete. We are always there together. But keep it. One born of God is able to identify the one who is born of
Talking
God.
about tribes, who's the strongest tribe here today? You know,
Who is present? We don't hear the tribes anymore.
in my mind, you know, I can just hear that.
Who is
I
there? Who
hear
is there?
that,
Go
that
there.
noise. I
Well,
hear that
want
noise
to
in
hear.
my mind. I hear
Which
that
tribe
noise.
is there? Hashtag province. Put there the hashtag of your province and name of your tribe. Which tribe is present? Shout from there.
I want to give a challenge. Can we reach a K next week Sunday for the hangout? On Facebook. I know that there are some that are on YouTube. I'm well aware. I don't know how many. I'm openly on Facebook. But I would like to know on just Facebook, because that's easier to share. Can we reach a K? I think we can.
I think we can.
Not I think. I know we can. We can do a lot more than that.
Let us set the challenge.
Let's
to
set
those
the
who
challenge.
watching us here.
Next week Sunday, which tribe is going to lead us to a K? A K on viewerships here live.
I see Benjamin is already pushing it here. Benjamin.
And when we talk about the tribe, it can be collective because we have South Africa watching us.
Yes.
We also have tribes from other.
Namibia's got tribes.
Countries.
Botswana, I know you live.
The
You've
question
got
is,
tribes.
which province? Which tribe?
Which tribe?
Not the province now, not the country. Let's not talk about the country province.
Or Park Station.
Or Park Station. It's always mentioned. The Renenberg. Forgot about mentioning Renenberg, Park Station. But the tribe, Benjamin, Levi, and all others. Which tribe you're from? Which tribe is going to lead us to the target?
Yeah.
To
To
the
reach
K.
the target.
To the K. You know, this week, before we wrap up, this week I'd like to share as well, if possible, even on the Facebook and the other pages, the tasks of what you can do to improve yourself, and most especially in the sense of friendship. Because I think if we carry on with the topic of friendship, we can go here until the end. There are just a lot. The wives are sending us the messages here,
Comments,
the comments, and
questions.
by the way, we apologize. It's almost impossible for us to be able to share and
Yes.
shout out to everybody, all the comments. I personally, I'm sure Pastor Mike and Pastor Mac, they do the same. I personally, when I get home, I do go through them.
Yes.
Some of them I even personally reply, but there are too many here. And even the wives have been getting the questions. Those of you who have also personal questions which you would like to ask, you'd like to be anonymous, you don't want it to be on the show, we have the WhatsApp number. Miss P, do you remember the number?
They can inbox the YPG as well if they want. They are online now on the YPG page.
If you're live there, or
They
the
can
WhatsApp
inbox.
number. Mrs. Marcia always knows this number. She's the one who knows this number off by
Since you
heart.
attach the subject, WhatsApp number, please.
063 471 6997. That's 063 471 6977. It's there on your screen. Alternatively, for those of you who are outside of South Africa, just add the plus 27 63 471 6997. That's the WhatsApp number
And
you
I
would like to
say that I'm
vent,
freezing here.
to
Look,
talk to
The
someone.
aircon.
I would like to give the winning tribe an opportunity to do something that we play live.
Live, just for them, dedicated to
just
your
for
tribe.
them. Just for the tribe.
Mm.
I don't know if we can do something like that.
Going to work on something as a tribe,
Yes.
regardless of province, country.
Yes.
So
Even
they
with-
have to work with the hashtag for us to know.
Yes.
Preferably send it to the inbox of the YPG, because then it's easier. The WhatsApp is used for the other church things as well, so it will be too much for the administrators to be able to handle. Of course
Yes.
you can, but it's a lot. Most preferably if you can send it on Facebook in the inbox of the YPG. So before we wrap up, the wives are here. Let's
And
Let's
sir,
give them
just
a-
before I forget, this week we are working to get followers for the Instagram. You know, a lot of young people asking me, are we going to have the June 16? Yes, we are going to have. Listen, we are going to have. I don't know how and where, but I know we are going to have the TPA reach out.
or when. Maybe June
Hopefully.
16 might not be June. We'll call it June 16.
Hopefully.
In October, man.
October or something. Yeah.
Hopefully.
October, June 16.
And today we are talking about not falling bad friends. Follow us on Instagram, YPGRSA. Check there right after Hangout or right now is online. Invite all your friends as well. We have the page there on Instagram, YPGRSA. Don't follow bad friends. Follow us.
That's it.
Right.
What?
No, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
the wives. I think they want to say something. They're here from the beginning.
Let
from
me
the
move.
beginning.
I'm moving. I'm moving.
From the beginning, they were here complaining.
Wait.
They were
Listen,
here,
guys,
"Nas."
hold on.
Special moment.
Guys, gentlemen.
Don't blink.
Gentle.
In case you're not an IntelliMan, this is how an IntelliMan
How you
behaves.
do it? Come, ladies.
Wait.
Oh, yes.
Hello,
Share,
YPG.
subscribe. Share, subscribe.
Hello, everyone watching
Whoop,
us.
whoop. Now we get their seat. You see, gentlemen, they pull their chairs. That's how they do it.
I'm sorry, there were no wheels.
Pastor Maicon bunked. He skipped that IntelliMan challenge.
There were no wheels for me to push to. But anyway, you're getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
Afternoon, YPG, we're missing you.
Good afternoon to all YPG and all the tribes from all the countries.
And by the way, happy Mother's Day for all the mothers who are watching us with your children as well. And if you are a YPG member, say happy Mother's Day for your mother as well. But not only this, obey her and respect her all the days of the year.
We are here to give, Happy Mother's Day for the mothers. We know in the YPG you have many mothers. So may God bless you. And also want to thank you, our spiritual mothers, because we have many pastors' wives that took care of us. So happy Mother's Day for you as well. Thank you very much for everything. And may God bless you all.
Okay, as they said, happy Mother's Day to everybody. And let's not forget on the lessons that we're learning in each and every hangout. We're not speaking from reading the Bible, but all of us have had personal experiences. So take upon it to make sure that you make the right choices in life, that you yourself as well may see the value of you being a part of the universal church, which we all call our spiritual mother. Maybe you're new in the church and we're just welcoming you and saying you can be part of this wonderful YPG family. Thank you for having us here today.
And we meet next week with 1K viewers.
Yes.
And they will share their experiences of coming to the church. That'll be fun.
Ooh.
Would you like to say goodbye?
Oh, this
Or
way
we
say
can
goodbye.
say goodbye for
we
your
have the
to
right
you.
Close the program.
Well, I believe that the subject of today have taught all of you why you should be selective concerning about friendship. You know, in the YPGs where I met my wife, and we were friends before. I mean, we met in the YPG. And just like I said in the beginning, I could identify her as the right person, as a friend first in the YPG. I don't know where you met your wives.
You want to know mine?
Yes, please.
All right. I met mine. If you remember YPG, 9th floor parking, she hated me. She told me
They
straight
were
up
not friends.
I was ugly. She told me that I thought I was too cool. But then later on, look at me. Look at me.
We need to know details of
Ah,
this story.
no.
You know what I think? I think next week we discuss. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I need to make a confession here. We in the YPG we have the 10 Commandments.
I
And-
received questions about the Ten
and,
Commandments.
You know, I don't know them off by heart. Like I know the 10 Commandments. I don't know which one's which, but I know that number 6 is about love life.
Oh, yeah.
Every YPG member has a query on number 6, 10 Commandments. I think next week.
You know, someone asked me this week, why should we come to the past concerning about the number 6?
Number 6.
Why they should come to the pastors and seek for advice, for counseling before dating someone in the church or even outside if that is the matter. Next week we're going to talk about this.
So next week, it's gonna be a heated one.
You can't miss. Next week we're going to be even touching here few experiences that we had.
Hey,
It's going to be crazy.
Some people are gonna sleep on the couch next week.
We're going to be touching here the subject of the few experience. We're going to be sharing a few experiences that we had in our marriage.
You know, many young people think that love life is all about, you know, the fun of having someone, but they don't know that this is one of the most important choices which we made. Because if my best friend here is a bad influence to me, I'm a bad influence to you. If Pastor Maicon's best friend, if Pastor Mac's best friend, who are their respective wives, are a bad influence to them at home, what do you think they're going to give to you? What do you think we're going to be able to share with you?
True.
So next week we'll be discussing Number 6.
Number 6.
Number
six.
6.
Send your questions.
And I'll let you know how I became handsome.
Which tribe is going to reach the target? Is going to lead us to the target?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think we can sign out.
Ladies,
That's all. For
see
today.
you until next week.
YPG family, we are signing out.
Number 6.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Christ, yeah, leave the drugs behind. I don't end my life, he gave you life, so I live mine. When you know the time is changing, you know the time is now. Know you get to heaven, yeah, you know you get that crown. You know you wanna see yourself in a clear white gown. You know you get to heaven, yeah, you know you get that crown. You know you wanna see yourself in a clear white gown. Jesus gave me life, I'm talking life, I'm walking stormy seas. YPG, yeah, know the suicide, you know that life is key. Be yourself, yeah, be yourself, you ain't no wanna be. Jesus gave me love, he gave me joy, and what no
The time is now to make a change. The time is now to be different. Because you were chosen, it isn't you to overcome. Because you were chosen, it isn't you to overcome. So be strong. Be courageous and overcome. So be strong, be courageous and overcome. YPG, you are strong. You are strong.
Yeah, born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You were strong YPG, join the best YPG. Wipe your sadness and your tears, cause I know that you were strong. All your pain and all your burdens, they will never last for long. Life's a test and in this test, fight to always be the best. YPG is in the house, so forget about the rest. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. You are strong YPG, join the best YPG. Born to conquer YPG, make it happen YPG. So be strong YPG, join the best YPG.
Whoa, hold on, cause the YPG